Welcome to DBA Doctor. In this chapter, we are going to cover up SQL Server database interview questions and answers. Here you will find the SQL Server installations related logs. Installations related logs are stored under the shared features directory folder, which was selected at a time of first SQL Server instance installation. Example, if shared features were selected to be placed on C program files Microsoft SQL Server, then the log will be created under program files Microsoft SQL Server 1110 and setup boot startup log and today year month date and hours. You can find the log. In that log you can able to find whatever installations related log are stored. Second question, what is ConfigurationFile.ini? SQL Server setup generate a configuration file named ConfigurationFile.ini. Based upon the system default and runtime input, the ConfigurationFile.ini file is a text file which contains the set of parameters in name, value, pairs along with the descriptive comment. Many of the parameter name correspond to a screen and options which you see while installing SQL Server through a wizard. We can then use the configuration file to install SQL Server with the same configuration instead of going through each and every installation screen. If the configuration file location change, or if the configuration file whatever the location is present, the file is not present there, then it is difficult to start a SQL Server. Next question, what is the location of configuration file.ini? We can find the configuration dot file in the C program file Microsoft SQL Server and 110 or whatever startup file, and then go to startup boot startup. Okay, over there log file folder you can see there under a subfolder based on the timestamp of when the SQL Server installation was done. You can get a .ini file, configuration.ini file. What is service account? Based on the selected component, while doing the installations, we find the respective services to each component in the Windows Server. For example, SQL Server, SQL Server Agent, SQL Analysis Service, SQL Integration Service. There will be a user for each and every services through which each services will run. That use in called service account. Mainly we are categorized service account, local user account, local service account, and domain account, local system account, network service account. For more detail, I have created one more video which is completely for service account that I'll share you in a description. Do we need to grant administrator permissions on the Windows Server to SQL Service account to run the service or not? Why? No, it is not required. It is not mandatory to grant administrator permissions to the service account. Next question. What permissions are required to install SQL Server on a server? User through which we are installing SQL Server must have administrator permissions on a Windows Server. Next question, what are shared features directory and its usage? The directory contains the common file used by all instances on a single computer. Example, SSMS, SQL CMD, BCP, DTXC, etc. These are installed in a folder, driver, program files, Microsoft SQL Server, where a driver is the drive later where components are installed. The default is usually drive C. Next question, what is instance? An instance of a database engine is a copy of SQL Server .exe executable that run as an operating system. Each instance manages its own system database and one or more user database. An instance is a complete copy of SQL Server installation. Question, types of instance and maximum number of instances which can be installed on a server. There are two types of instance in SQL Server, default and named instance. Only one default instance will be supported in one server. Multiple named instance will be supported in one server. Default instance will take the server name as an instance name, and maximum number of instance will be 50. Next question, can we install multiple instances on a same disk drive? Yes, we can install multiple instances on the same disk drive because each installation creates its own folder with the below format like a C program files, MS SQL server, and under that whatever folder name we can segregate we can do, or else default folder location it will collect. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed my session. In next topic we will cover with some more 10 advanced interview questions which will help you to crack the interview. And if you are new to my channel, kindly subscribe and support me.